Links in the description. If you do like this video, please comment, like, subscribe, share as you see fit. Have a look at some of the other videos on the channel, see if this is your kind of thing. I read through articles of true crime, mostly pretty horrific, mostly murder and torture, kidnappings, this kind of thing. And I try to do that very quickly. So this article just came out a few minutes ago. Going to read through really the first half of the article. There is plenty more to go through should you wish to read through this in your own good time. Links in the description once more. Undercover TV researcher on Channel 4, a UK television channel. Undercover TV researcher on Channel 4's Dispatches television program, who tortured a father with a staple gun and acid, hung him upside down and killed him in front of his children in a drug debt feud, is found guilty after going on the run for 16 years. An undercover TV researcher who worked on Channel 4's Dispatches has been found guilty of torturing a father of two to death in front of his children at a cannabis farm. Christopher Guest Moore Jr., now 44 years of age, murdered Brian Waters, 44 years of age, at a Cheshire farmhouse over a £20,000 drugs debt on June the 19th, 2003, a jury has found. Moore was convicted by a majority of 10-2 at Chester Crown Court on Monday. On Thursday, after 12 hours and 14 minutes of deliberations, the jury also found him guilty of conspiracy to cause grievous bodily harm to another person, Suleiman Razak, who worked on the cannabis farm and was tortured at the same time as Mr. Waters. Over 3 hours, Mr. Waters sustained 123 injuries as he was whipped, burned with acid, attacked with a staple gun, hung upside down, suspended headfirst into a liquid to simulate drowning, and beaten inside a cowshed at Burnt House Farm in Tabley near Knutsford. Just to clarify, this is all in England for those that aren't familiar. Mr. Razak described, so this is Suleiman Razak, so this is one of the people that were tortured alongside the gentleman that was murdered, who is Brian Waters. Mr. Razak described how he himself was also suspended from rafters into a barrel which was filled with fluid before having plant food poured over his body, a pillowcase on his head set alight, and a staple gun used on his feet and body. Mr. Waters' son Gavin, then 25 years of age, and daughter Natalie, who turned 21 the day before his death, were also at the farm. They were tied up and forced to watch as their father was murdered by his attackers, who tied a bin bag over his head and set it alight, causing it to melt. So this is the convicted murderer, Christopher Guest Moore. And so this all happened due to a £20,000 drugs debt. This is the victim, the murdered victim, Brian Waters. I believe this is the room in which he was tortured in front of his family. We'll show this picture here. This is the actual the premises in general. So this is Burnt House Farm in Tabley. Okay, so let me just get back to the article. Okay, meanwhile, his wife, Julie, then 42 years of age, was abducted from their family home and also brought to the site where she discovered the dead body of her husband. The jury heard Mr. Waters died of multiple injuries following the attack. He had staples in his head and body and was assaulted with an iron bar and other weapons. The judge, Judge Sir Peter Openshaw, said Moore would be sentenced on Friday. So he's been convicted. He's awaiting sentencing. The court heard how Moore had fled the UK for Spain 2 days after the murder, and after travelling to South Africa, Mozambique and Turkey, settled in Malta, where he was found living 16 years later in 2019. I think that's as much of the article that I'm going to go through. There is quite a bit more detail about the criminal history of Moore and how he went on the run for 16 years. So there is more details there should you wish to go through it. But ultimately, the murderer, Christopher Guest Moore Jr., has been found guilty of the torture and murder of Brian Waters, as well as the torture of another gentleman, Mr. Razak. So there's justice at last, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Let's hope that the devil, Satan, opens up his doors once more, allows Christopher Moore in to serve eternity in a pit of hell.